And welcome live inside the Hare Arena Conference Center in Dayton, Ohio. My name is JT Szabo, and this is the second annual Open Gem session for your Dayton Gems. And I'm joined tonight by Dayton Gems President Joe Greene, and of course, everyone knows the coach, Brian Gratz. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. This is my favorite time of the year personally, and as we gear up for another exciting season of Gems Pro Hockey.
Brian, of course, we'll start with you. First winning season in 5 years in the city of Dayton. How do you follow up?
Well, first and foremost, it was great to give Dayton exactly what they needed, which was a winning team. But that wasn't enough. Just making the playoffs was not enough for our fans. And it is a mission of ours this year to go deeper, and we're driving to a championship this year.
I'll toss it over to you. A format that we're going to see tonight, these two gentlemen will be answering your questions as well as providing some additional feedback as the night goes along. And Joe, obviously you've been very busy over the summer. A lot of things have happened in the organization. But first and foremost, your second season as the president of the Dayton Gems, what are the expectations?
Well, we have extremely high expectations. We have set the bar in our minds very high for the upcoming season. Coming off of a year in which we led all of minor league professional hockey and increased average attendance, we were up 46% last season, and we hope to lead the nation again this season at increased average attendance. So we have very high expectations of ourselves. Our goal is to be the premier franchise in all of minor league professional hockey when it's all said and done. We have high expectations of our staff, and we're ready to get to work.
And, of course, one of the biggest things that this club has taken on this summer is the upcoming Dayton Gems first annual charity golf tournament. And that, of course, this Saturday. It's hard to believe it's here already. It's been such a process organizing it, and we've gotten a great response from you, the fans, as well as some of our partners. Joe, let's talk a little bit about that. Maybe walk us through, and the fans as well, on how that came to be.
Well, the golf tournament is something that I've wanted to implement since I've been here. I've been here now 13 months, and this is something we wanted to do in the preseason. It's an opportunity for all of our players to get out and mingle with fans right before training camp starts. The weather's going to be beautiful. It's forecast for 77 degrees and sunny skies, and so we're excited. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to raise some money for Diabetes Dayton. It's for a great cause, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we might have a couple spots left if anybody wants to get registered last minute here.
And, of course, that's something that you can do by logging on to DaytonGems.com, where you are currently watching us live through Ustream. And this will be something that we utilize more and more as the season goes along with our social media platforms. Of course, just a program note that this will also be rebroadcast on the team's YouTube channel as well as spread on Facebook and Twitter for you to share with others who might not be able to watch this live, and of course to replay some of your favorite answers you'll hear tonight. Now, Coach, some of the big things obviously with this golf tournament involve the players, and the players being an active part of that. As far as your stance, what have you told the guys about the tournament, and more importantly, what are they looking forward to about this?
Well, first and foremost, we told them that this is our first opportunity to get out there and mingle with the fans and sponsors and the community. So it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody to meet them and for them to meet our fans. I think we should have a couple groups of guys going out there and trying to battle their way to a win here in the tournament, but moreover, it's just going to be a very fun event. We'll have players stationed all around the golf course, and whether it's long drive and trying to putt with a hockey stick and see how far you can drive the ball with a hockey stick. It should be a lot of fun, and I know the players are excited for it, and we'd like to get as many people out there as possible to come out and show the players that they aren't as good of golfers as they keep telling me they are.
And certainly that's going to be something a lot of fans are going to enjoy, being able to interact with the players on a more casual note. It's one thing. The Gems in the last 2 seasons have been very well known for their accessibility to the players, but being able to sit right next to them on a golf cart or take a shot next to them or after them and see kind of on a more casual basis, I think gives some of the fans that will be participating this weekend a little closer access than maybe even they're used to.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're committed to, minor league sports, the ideal of there being more accessibility to the players, and this is just another step to show that we're committed to doing that and allowing the fans to see that these are real people and guys who just enjoy to have the opportunity to play hockey and be in a great city like Dayton.
And truly, that is the American dream, or Canadian, depends on which part of the hemisphere you hail from. The golf tournament, obviously, this weekend, Saturday, it's a 1 o'clock shotgun start, and that is at Larch Tree Golf Course in Trotwood. Joe, obviously, the sponsorship has been great. Partners have been working with this tournament. It's something that are we hoping to build on for next year?
Absolutely. This is something we're hoping to make an annual event. And, we're excited with the number of players we have this year in our first year of hosting the tournament. And definitely the weather plays a factor in that as well. So this is something that we hope to build on and grow and continue to raise more money for Diabetes Dayton and other charitable organizations.
Now, Susan McGovern is the executive director of Diabetes Dayton, and she certainly has been one of the biggest Dayton Gems fans the last 2 months now, as the Gems will be making a contribution to Diabetes Dayton. The best thing, I think, personally, about working with an organization like Diabetes Dayton is all of the money will stay in the Miami Valley.
Absolutely, and Susan's been great to work with. We've partnered with Diabetes Dayton on some other events this past off season, among numerous other charitable organizations. But Diabetes Dayton has stepped up to help us really make an impact, and we're excited about the partnership.
Exciting times this Saturday. For more information on the Dayton Gems Charity Golf Tournament and how you can help out Diabetes Dayton, be sure to log on to DaytonGems.com or call 275-7777. Changing gears, guys, and changing times, changing faces all around the organization, myself included. A lot of new faces around the club this year, and that's both downstairs with you and upstairs in the team's office. In addition to myself, 2 new front office members took over this summer their respective posts. Let's start with you and talk about some of the new players to the Gems front office.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, you mentioned yourself. JT has joined us after coming off of a stint here with the Troy Bruins, who is another local organization. JT has many contacts in the Miami Valley area and has been a huge plus for us in the front office. And we're excited to have JT on board as he handles our media relations, getting us out into the community. I feel sorry for his wife. He hasn't seen much of her lately.
She's watching tonight, by the way. Hi, hon.
We've kept him busy in the community with player appearances, mascot appearances, etc. So we're excited to have JT on board, and we've also have some other additions to our staff as well. We have a new director of corporate partnerships, Jake Greene. Jake has joined us in his first season here, and he's not quite as handsome as his older brother, but he's on board with us and has done a nice job with bringing in some new business for us, some new corporate partners. Buckman's D&D, Harley Davidson, Service Experts are a couple of the partners that Jake has been able to bring on board just here in the last 90 days, and he's been a good addition to our staff.
Well, let me ask you this. Obviously, a lot of fans have already been able to make the connection. There's a 2-year difference between you two?
Yeah, 2 years, and we're glad to have him. Jake's got an extremely good work ethic, and that's something that not only as his boss, I guess, but as his brother that I'm proud of. And to see him grow and learn and really help us, and this is new for him, and so it's been fun to watch and try to mentor and help him grow.
Now, of course, hockey is world-renowned as a family-geared sport, and we'll get into that a little later in the broadcast. But, working with your brother, obviously that has to be, just a wonderful experience having family there. Sometimes probably not so wonderful, as I can attest to. But what is the relationship that you two have? Is there something that you're able to kind of click that maybe another person wouldn't be able to get?
Probably the most important thing right now is that he's living in my basement, and so not only does he have to hear it from me all day long, but it's all night long as well. So we're constantly talking about sales strategies and potential clients and the team, and trying to really just help him increase his learning process as fast as possible. So, but it's fun. I've got 2 little boys, and they adore him, and I'm sure he's He's probably, we don't have a gate on the staircase to the basement, so they live in the basement with him, but it's been a good bonding experience for my boys. So.
Now, of course, I've had a couple fans comment on his bio on the website, and we showed his picture earlier. A couple of people came up to me, especially when I first came on the organization earlier this summer, and asked, on the farm? Really? What was the genesis of that?
Well, you know what? We were looking for someone with number one, a great work ethic. Number two, that was responsible, punctual, somebody that can be counted on, somebody that would be a difference maker, and somebody that would buy into the team atmosphere and the family atmosphere that we've created in our front office across the board, from our ownership all the way down through the locker room with Brian and his players. You know, and as we actually did a national search for this position, and while I was home visiting over the summer, we just had a conversation about it. And, you know what? I thought, you know, Jake met the criteria that we were looking for, and I knew he could be counted on. There is no such thing as a 40-hour work week in what we do, and you have to. There's a certain kind of person out there that you got to find to be able to do the jobs that we do, and he fit the criteria, and I've been pleasantly surprised with how fast he's been up to speed on you know, contributing to our organization in a positive way.
Now, speaking of contributing to the organization, there's probably, arguably, no offense, Coach, there's no greater emphasis in a minor league sporting organization than ticket sales. It is the revenue lifeblood, and we did welcome a new ticket salesman to the organization, and let's talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, we've Sean Wantering, who's our VP of ticket sales. Sean was able to go out and do kind of a search for his department to add someone to our ticketing department. He was able to find Patrick LeBute. Patrick is a graduate of Ohio University, which is one of the top universities in all of the country for sports management programs. Patrick's been a great addition. You know, he's grown a lot in his few months with us, and he'll continue to learn and grow, and he wants to. And those are the kind of people that we look for, people that want to get to the top, to be the absolute best at what they do. And Patrick fits that mold. So we're excited to have Patrick on board. He's done a great job for us. His customer service is very, very good with our season ticket holders and group ticket sales. So, you know, with JT, with Patrick, with Jake, with Ashley Lentz, who's our director of game ops and really the glue that keeps everybody together in our office, and then Sean as well. We feel like we're finally at a point where we've got a team that we're ready to go to battle with every single day when we come into the office.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about our ticketing department, and especially Patrick. And you know, I'm pretty lighthearted around the office, or at least I try to be. And one of the first things I did was with Patrick. He's had an incredible success with our newest ticket package, the Hat Trick Pack, starting at $27, by the way. He actually kind of took on a little bit of a nickname over the summer. Can you elaborate on that for us?
You know, I don't know who came up with the nickname.
It was me. It was me. Yeah.
But Hat Trick Patrick is, he's done a great job with the Hat Trick packages, and it's good to have that camaraderie in the office to where he's okay with that nickname. So.
Mm-hmm. Used with permission, mind you. That was critical. But a term of endearment for someone, to come into an organization and really take hold of a project like that. You know, he's sold a ton of those so far. And I know we'll talk about that a little bit later. That's kind of the front office. And for a lot of you fans, you're going to be interacting with us, and in addition to Joe and Ashley and Sean. So feel free to say hello during the preseason game, or if you come during training camp or whenever you get a chance to see us. We'd love to meet some of the Dayton faithful here, and I know that's probably vice versa. New faces downstairs as well, Coach, and we're not talking players just yet. We're talking equipment manager and someone you're a little familiar with.
Yeah, Brennan Cody moved on from our organization, moved to the ECHL, and kind of in a search that spanned all across the country with varying levels of experience, from American Hockey League experience on down to high school. I kind of always kept coming back to this one person, Graham Pepperman, who I've known for over 10 years now. The last 5 years he served as the Penn State equipment manager, and kind of coming from there, Before that, he worked in Elmira as an assistant equipment manager, but also as an ice tech in their arena. So he definitely has some good ideas with help improving our ice conditions from day to day wear and tear from our guys. But most notably, I mean, what kind of sold me on him is he was selected as the 2011 Team USA World University Games equipment manager, which is a great honor. He went to Ezrum, Turkey with Team USA, and got a great trip out of it. Did a lot of work, and but he has a lot of experience, and he was kind of thrown into the fire right away. We had to get things ordered. He had to talk to the players about what kind of sticks they want, and let me tell you, it's a lot more of a process than anybody might realize, especially with some of the characters we have. But he's done a great job. He's definitely made the locker room his own, and he's making improvements every day in terms of making it a place that players are going to want to come and be comfortable at.
Now, of course, we take a look at the picture on your screen right now of Graham. This was taken from one of the State College local newspapers. And this, being an old goaltender there, he's sharpening a goalie skate. A lot of people have asked, is that your skate?
It might be. And when I was at Penn State, actually, he was the only person I allowed to sharpen my skates. I wasn't a big fan of the equipment guy there at the time when I was a player, and he was a person who was working at the rink as an ice tech, and he was the guy to go to for skates. So I know he can do that. That's a big part of it, to keep our guys out there. And he had a lot of tinkering to do with our current skate sharpener machine and got it running perfectly. So we're lucky to have him, and I'm excited that he's here.
Well, certainly exciting to have all the changes like we had over the summer, and one of the things that this club has done really well, especially the last year, moving over the summer, now we've really ramped it up, was the promotions. And we'll get into that a little bit, but last year a lot of the fans will remember the We Believe promotion, and that was the campaign slogan, if you will, for the organization. And there are still some signage that has that. It was on the ice last year. It was something that the club bought into. With success, this year you decided to get away from the tagline. What was your vision and kind of moving forward?
Well, I mean, our vision's pretty simple. It's we offer affordable family entertainment, and that's the message that we're trying to convey. It's not that we don't believe in our team or fans or anything like that. It's just we want to keep our message simple and consistent. We offer affordable family entertainment. That's what we're about, regardless of how many games we win or lose. It's about it's about the affordable family entertainment at the end of the day, and so that's our focus. And then we look back on the season we had last year and say, okay, what did we do well and what worked? Giveaways worked well for us. So this year we've implemented a giveaway every single game, and so we kind of have gone with that slogan as well as the affordable family entertainment of a giveaway every single game. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep our message clear. And so we still believe, just so everybody understands that, we believe more than ever, believe me when I say that. So
there you go. Well, the giveaway every game is a wonderful promotion, and you're going to see that inside Hare Arena this year. But certain other promotions have garnered some more attention on a national level as well as a regional level, especially in the last week and a half. Can we kind of tread lightly on this topic? But we have to bring it up. The fans have been very vocal in their position, both good and bad, on Steve Bartman.
Yeah, Steve Bartman. The Salute to Steve Bartman night was a night that was spearheaded by Jake and I when we were watching the ESPN documentary. Minor league sports is about fun, and it's about family, and it's about affordable family entertainment, which is what we were all about. Many of us, including myself, still feel terrible for Steve Bartman and everything that he had to go through. So we put together a promotion which our original intent with this promotion was to tell Steve and all other fans, come out to a Gems game and don't worry about what colors you're wearing or what the other team's fans might yell or say at you, or if you might get into a fight. It just seems like with all the incidents at professional sporting events nowadays, with fighting and cussing and yelling, our intent was to promote, come out to one of our games and just enjoy the atmosphere and have a good time. And you know what? That's what it's all about. Unfortunately, our message did not come across that way. And we heard it from all across the United States. We had We had a lot of feedback from people from California, South Carolina. You name the state, they probably emailed us. We've had publicity in numerous publications, from the Sporting News to Sports Illustrated, AOL.com, in
Yahoo.
Canada, Yahoo.com. So we definitely, our message was out there. It just wasn't necessarily the message that we intended to convey with the promotion. And so, Steve Bartman works with juvenile diabetes. We work with Diabetes Dayton. We said, let's turn this into a positive and make a donation in Steve Bartman's name to Diabetes Dayton, which we will be doing, and on Saturday at our golf tournament. So, you know what? Sometimes you have to push the envelope a little bit to get people in your building. It's not like we just open our doors and people show up. Definitely there's an effort that has to be there on our part. We try to be creative with our promotions, and we definitely apologize if anyone was offended with that particular promotion or any of our other promotions. That's not the intent. So that's kind of the background on that story, and hopefully we can all move on from this point and move forward.
We'll move forward right after this. I do have one more question that's sort of related. You yourself garnered some attention as well as part of that, and you picked up a pretty clever nickname in Las Vegas. You want to explain a little further on that as well?
Well, I mean, I guess some people thought that I was a little bit rude with the whole entire promotion itself. So the name Mean Joe Greene, I guess, fits in this case. It's a name that Mean Joe. People call me Mean Joe Greene probably 3 times a day. Usually when I meet people for the first time and introduce myself. Yeah. I guess the good part about that is that it's easy to remember. It's easy for people to remember and relate to. And I think I even had one person email me and say, "Hey, where's that kid at now who caught your Coca-Cola jersey or caught the Steelers jersey on the Coca-Cola commercial?" Mm-hmm. So. It's something that I've had to deal with my whole life. Doesn't bother me. So,
moving on. Of course, that's something that the organization was focused on, and while we were dealing with that downstairs in a different part of the building, you were hacking away at workloads of yourself, and we actually have our first viewer question of the night, and this one coming courtesy of Ron Short. Ron, a big fan of the Dayton Gems, and he wanted to ask you 2 particular questions, and then we have a third for Joe. First, of course, what do you plan on doing differently on the power play this year?
Yeah. Well, last year we obviously went through some pretty rocky and barren times on the power play, and I think a lot of it can be attributed to the injuries that we did have. I mean, when we lose Paul Ferraro, an outstanding rookie defenseman, to concussion early in the season, he was a big part of what was happening for us on the power play. I believe he had 4 power play goals in the first 3 weeks of the season. Brett Lutz being out for a month and a half, Brandon Naurato out for 2 months, Chris Lipset out the bulk of the season there, over 20 games. Tim Hartung missed 30 games about. So losing some of those high power weapons and basically having them on the shelf was a challenge, and it thrust some guys into a position that maybe they weren't ready for. And I take responsibility for that. But one thing that I hope people were able to see, that coming into the stretch run of the season and into the playoffs, we did make some tweaks. We kind of switched up our formula a little bit in terms of breaking out and end zone setup, and we were clicking over 20 to 25%, and that's right where you want to be. We had some good power play goals in the playoffs, and even when we didn't score, we were maintaining puck presence in zone and putting a lot of pressure on their penalty killers, and that's something we're going to continue to do. And I think this year with the additions of Nino Musatelli, Nick Fanto, and the faces from last year, I think we're going to be able to have 2 very good units that are going to be very lethal when they get out there on the power play. So look for us to kind of continue the kind of setup we had last year at the end of the year, and look for us to be capitalizing on those power plays.
Well, let me follow up with this. You had a lot of talent last season in your power play units. What can you do, or what have you done already to try and avoid the unfortunate circumstances, whether it was the injuries, whether it was the other circumstances that caused the lack? What have you done preparing for season 2 to try and prevent that?
Well, I think for me, I've always been a believer that if you're not learning, if you don't continue to learn, you're moving backwards. I took some time to actually go to Lake Erie Monsters training camp. Had a great talk with them. They're the affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche, and we kicked around a lot of ideas, whether it was forecheck, power play, etc. Talked to a lot of different American League teams, and I think we're gonna be good. I think we're gonna be kind of new at what we're going to do with our approach, our zone entry. I think that, for me, everything's going to be was a learning process last year, and we're going to be better in every facet, especially with the teaching and the points of emphasis on the power play, especially. So, but kind of to go along with that. Bringing the acquisition of a few players on the back end, especially defenseman wise. I mean, we obviously have Greg Lubinsky returning, but we have James Sanford, who's coming to us with over 100 American Hockey League games played. He's a guy with a tremendous amount of offensive ability. He's someone who's going to quarterback one of our power play units, and he's going to do a great job of it. And also, we've made a move to put Tim Hartung back on defense permanently. He started off the year as a forward, obviously took an injury to his knee, came back and kind of wasn't as effective as a forward just because it was kind of out of it for a bit. But we moved him back to defense, a position he had played in college, and turned out to be one of our better offensive defensemen who can move the puck and distribute. And actually, in the playoff time when we were most effective on the power play, we had him back up at the point, and his production was more than he had as a forward. So I think bringing in those offensive skilled defensemen to kind of help hold down the back end on the power play is going to be very important. We didn't really have that as much last year. There were times when we had 4 or 5 forwards on the power play, and you still need people to have that defensive mindedness on the blue line, and also have the ability to bring the puck up the ice and distribute it on a rush, which is something that forwards are generally. I'll get the puck at the blue line and I'm off to the races. So I think we're in a much better shape, and we're excited for it.
And a lot of that is the physical strength and the speed and the agility. And Ron, second question for Coach was: it seemed like to him that you've added some muscle onto the roster this year. And his question was, can we expect a more physical team than we saw last year?
Well, I think we're still going to go with the approach of team toughness, and we're going to be physical. I mean, we want to use our arena to our advantage and get the fans going, and that's laying big hits, being first to the puck, and if we're not, we're going to make the guys pay for it who come into our building and on the road. So we added a few guys in terms of Nick Duff and Ryan Hull. I think those guys are going to be pretty good physical presence for us. Kyle Bocek's back, Nick Fanto. I think it's going to be fun to watch. We're going to be quick to pucks, but we want to make sure that we're punishing the other team every time they touch the puck, especially in our house. So we're going to be team tough, sticking up for one another and making teams pay for touching our puck and coming into our barn.
And a big part of that is going to be starting Monday during training camp, and this now shifts to Joe. Ron had a question for you as well in regards to how do they get into Hera and what do they do for the training camp?
Absolutely. We've got training camp starting on Monday. Fans want to come this first week of training camp. They can come right through the front doors at the Hera Arena box office. We'll have the building open and available. There won't be any concession stands open or anything like that. It's basically a practice. So we will also have some merchandise potentially on sale as well. But we'll shoot more details. Look for more details on our website on when merchandise might be available during training camp. As far as times for training camp, I'll kind of throw that back to Brian.
Yeah, as far as times go, the way we've set up our schedule is that every day we're going to be on the ice from 10 to 12 in the morning. So that's going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But something unique that we're kind of adding in this year is Wednesday late afternoon. We're going to have a team inter-squad scrimmage. So that ice slot's going to be from 4 to 5:30. The inter-squad scrimmage will take place from 4:30 to 5:30. We're going to look to do probably 2 30-minute halves running time so that the guys can get a good opportunity to get out there, work our systems, and get the competitive juices flowing so that we're ready for the exhibition game. And then obviously we'll continue with that 10 to 12 on Thursday, Friday morning skate, and then we have an exhibition game against Fort Wayne. Back to 10 to 12 on Saturday. Sunday we'll be on the road to Fort Wayne, and then the entire second week of training camp is going to be the 10 to 12 slot. So doors are open. We welcome you guys to come in and check us out, see what we're doing. Guys are very, very excited to be here, and it should be a pretty intense, hard-working camp. And there's teaching times in there, but I run a pretty high-paced flow practice that a lot of things are going on, so you get to see what the guys are going to do on a day-in, day-out basis.
Well, on a completely unrelated note, we were watching morning skate. The guys just playing around, and I couldn't spot Kyle Bocek for some reason. And I looked out on the ice. We were watching the flows on the ice, and just couldn't spot him. What was the reason for that?
Unfortunately, Kyle decided to chop off his mane, and is now rocking the faux hawk, I guess is what the kids call it these days. But no, he's clean cut, looking good, and fresh off of his opportunity in training camp with the Rochester Americans in the AHL, along with our former goaltender Jeff Chikaitis up there. But no, he's excited and going with a new look, and I'm sure it'll pay off.
We hope so, and I know a lot of the fans will be interested to see his new do when the team debuts in training camp. So that might be a reason just to come right there and get your new autographs as part of that. Couple questions for Joe. We've got some more audience questions coming in. This one from Amber in Dayton. To Joe, what are the Gems doing to expand the message and the brand of Dayton Gems hockey in town?
Well, we're doing a lot, and our owners understand that there are still too many people out there who don't know about the Dayton Gems or where the Gems play or what league we're in. So we've got to do a better job on our end of educating potential fans and people in the community about who we are, what we're about, what we believe in, our message, and what we provide here at Hara Arena. We have partnered with a marketing company, Niche Productions, this season. Alan Forrest, who's local here in town, has been a huge help to us this offseason. Alan did our television commercials at the end of last season. We started a relationship working with Alan, and he truly believes in what we're trying to do. We've partnered up to really get our message out there. We've increased our marketing budget by about 125% from last season. We understand that this is a big year for us, and this is a year that we've got to make a statement. We've got to get more butts in seats. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. So we've got television commercials that are currently running on a number of different stations. You may have seen Blade on the golf course. In fact, Alan was down on the ice yesterday doing some filming for a new television spot. We've got print ads. We've got radio advertising. A lot of this you'll be seeing here very soon. We have a new partnership with Cox, the Cox Media Group this season, which we're excited to talk more about as we get closer to the season. But they're doing a lot to help the Dayton Gems this season as well. Digital billboards, as well as we will be launching a brand new website in the coming weeks. So we invite fans to continue to check DaytonGems.com for a new look, and we're very excited about that. And then and lastly, we've been in the community a lot to get the word out. We have been out a ton since in the last 13 months. We've made an effort to be anywhere and everywhere, not only in Dayton but in some surrounding counties and communities. So we understand that we need to be out there more. Our message needs to be out there more. Our owners understand it. They back it, and it's something that we're constantly trying to improve.
Now, part of that, obviously, is Amber's second question goes on. If she can't make a game, and this is for a lot of fans that, well, they just either work or maybe they have other obligations, they're babysitting, whatever the case may be, can they watch the game online or on TV or on the web, or what options do they have?
Absolutely. The Central Hockey League is partnering with a company called New Lion to offer CHL TV. Every regular season game across the Central Hockey League is broadcast online. It is a pay-per-view option for fans, and I believe you can buy a full season pass or you can pay game by game. And you can do that either through our website or the Central Hockey League website on a game-by-game basis. The exhibition games will not be on CHL TV. So the first time you'll have a chance to watch the Gems online through CHL TV this season will be opening night at Bloomington, Saturday, October 22nd. And Yeah, and we'll talk more. We will have some watch parties this season as well, and we'll talk more about that later.
Okay. One final question for Amber as she writes to Joe. We'll finish it up here. Some pro teams have a website where the fans can watch or listen to the away games, and we hit on the CHL TV. Did the Gems have something in the works similar to what the team did last year with Sports Juice? Is there a radio partnership? What's going on?
Well, you know what? We actually have a new deal in place this year. We're excited to tell fans about, and I'm actually going to let JT talk about it.
Well, this will be the first time that we actually mention it. A press release will be out in the next week or so announcing that the Gems have left Sports Juice as the audio streaming to upgrade both in sound quality and access to the team, as all Dayton Gems games, home and away, will now be streamed online in high quality on wave96.net, and that is a local internet radio station based actually out of Greenville, Ohio. So we're very excited to work with local companies, and there will be a wonderful partnership there where they will cover all of the games live, and it will be a wonderful experience for everyone.
Absolutely.
So very excited about the internet radio. We've got some other things in the works as well. So like Joe said, stay tuned to the quickly evolving DaytonGems.com in the coming weeks leading up to the season. I think everyone is going to be very impressed with what they see. Niche Productions did a wonderful job on that. Now, let's go back into hockey a little bit. People want to know what's going on with the player signings. Training camp opens on Monday. The players will actually be in town for the first official meeting in this very room tomorrow night. You're just getting chills from all the hockey that's on its way here, and I'm sure you are as well. Michael Hausman from Dayton asks, will there be any more players signed between now and the start of camp on Monday?
Yes, there will, and it's kind of in keeping with the preseason and moving into training camp. Teams and are always looking to add and improve their team as they move along. American Hockey League camps are letting out. ECHL camps are letting out as well. So there are some new players that are coming available for one reason or another. So yes, players will be added throughout camp, and as a matter of fact, we're in the process of adding a new player actually today. So he should be arriving in Dayton tomorrow. So we're pretty excited about him. But yeah, that's the name of the game, additions and subtractions as you move along till you get the pieces to fit the way you want them to.
Now, I must add, and I'm sure some of the fans at home, the astute ones anyway, would know, Sean Avery cleared waivers yesterday. Any chance of getting a player like him?
Well, I think it might be quite the cap hit if we were to do that one, but we'll do some looking into that one.
Michael had one more question for you, Coach, and this one kind of along the same lines of the players. He asked what the status of the 7 players who have not re-signed with the team from last season. Where are they, and is there any interest in coming back to the team?
Well, I mean, I'll kind of go through the list of the guys, but we have talked to the guys and talked to their representation, and as I roll through here, you get a better idea of what's happening there. But Tom Boudreau, Jake Pence, and Matt Zapura, and Matt Miller have all decided to hang him up and move on in their lives. I know Jake Pence especially is he's become a head prep school coach out in Colorado, so he's very excited about that. We've had numerous conversations as well about putting together his team and all that good stuff. And Tommy Boudreau is also working in the field of hockey as well, doing private lessons and working with some high schools in the Chicagoland area. So really happy for those guys, and I know they're all going to do great. And Matt Zapura was a tremendous person, great work ethic. I think he could have continued to play, especially based on the fact that he is one of the most in-shape people I know. But I think he's decided to take a different journey, and we wish him well. So hopefully those guys, and I think they will from time to time stop back into Dayton. I know Tommy Boudreau's planning on it. So and don't be surprised that if we're in a pinch, if maybe he throws his jersey on again. But also Nathan Oak, I know people have been asking about that, but he has re-signed to come back here. He's still in that long rehabilitation process from his injury last year, but he's doing great. He's been here at the rink every day, getting his workouts in. He's finally getting on the ice and getting comfortable again. So we're happy to see his progression with that. And in terms of the two guys that we had assigned to us from the New York Rangers last year, I know Tyson Dowzak. He is currently with Utah in the ECHL, started up in the Houston's American League camp. And I'm not sure exactly if he may be on a two-way, but I know he's down in Houston or down in Utah, rather, and excited for his opportunity there. We've talked quite a bit, and I know he's also enrolled in some university classes at the University of Minnesota online. So happy for him. Matt McHugh, we actually had quite a few talks with him over the summer about potentially coming back since his contract did expire with the Rangers. But he's a guy of many talents and raising lizards but actually computers is something that he's very good at. But I know that he was pretty uncertain the last time we spoke a couple weeks ago, and I think if something at a higher level didn't come his way, he was going to move on. But you never know. There's still hope, but regardless, we wish all those guys the best, and best luck in what they do.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about ultimately. And we have new players this year reporting tomorrow night, so that's very exciting for everyone here. One player, just really quickly to follow up with what Michael was saying, that might be a little familiar to some Dayton hockey fans. I haven't seen him in a while, but a former Miami University standout and a former Dayton Bomber returning to the Gems.
Yeah, Nino Musatelli comes to us, and we were very excited about acquiring him from the Allen Americans, where he had a couple of tremendous years, highlighted by a couple 70-point seasons. He said that he really kind of wanted to come back to this area. He loved it. Went to college at University of Miami of Ohio, played for the Bombers as his first year pro, and really wanted to come back to this area of the country. So we were really excited that once we did acquire his rights, he signed immediately. So that says a lot about what we're doing here as an organization, as a team, and about the kind of enthusiasm he has about playing for the Dayton Gems this year. So we're looking forward to him coming into camp, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Let's shift gears a little bit here and talk again to Joe. Don't want to leave you out too much here, but we have another viewer question just in from Karen Valentine, and she actually has 3 questions for you. First one, though, are you going to be able to help promote any fan bus trips coming up this season? I know it's something that they've done in the past. What is the official stance from the organization on that?
Well, we definitely will be behind it. We want our fans on the road supporting our guys, and so we will definitely do the best possible job that we can of promoting the bus trips, times, dates, cost, etc. So we'll help facilitate that to the best of our abilities. We do have one conflict with one of the bus trips right now, so our hands are kind of tied on one of them, but other than that, we are fully behind the bus trips. We want to send our fans to support our guys.
Now, there's always the large exodus of the city of Fort Wayne every time the Gems host the Comets. Eventually, do you see the Gems kind of returning the favor?
Absolutely. That's the goal. We want to we want to create a fan base much like the Comets, where our fans are very passionate. I will say this: we may not have as many fans as Fort Wayne, but they're just as passionate, if not more. And that's something we take a lot of pride in, that our fans take a lot of pride in, and it's a culture that we're trying to create here in Dayton. That we're the premier professional hockey franchise in minor league pro sports. So absolutely, we would love to get to that level and surpass that level.
Karen also has another question on a little lighthearted take. She actually asked if there would be any chance of getting maybe a wider array of adult beverages at Hara Arena for the games.
Well, I know Hara Arena is trying to make improvements across the board. The Wampler family has told us they are committed to improving the experience. Not only Gems games, but other events as well. I know that they are currently looking into other options. I don't know what exactly those adult beverages might be, but I know that they are looking into it.
Karen also goes on to ask, last season it seemed like the lighting in the Hara parking lot was dim in some locations. Can you give us an update on some of the facility upgrades?
Well, I know that when I talked with Rune, Karen Wampler, and Corey Rose, the GM here at Hara Arena, They have told us they are committed to improving the facility inside and out. One of the things that we did approach them about was the lighting in the parking lot. They do know that that is a concern of our fans, so we've brought that to the table. They have told us that they are improving that. I don't have an exact timeline, but we know it's important for the safety of our fans, regardless of where this arena is located. We want our fans to feel safe. It's dark in the winter. It's dark early. It's cold, and it's important our fans feel safe. So it definitely is an issue that has been brought to the table, and they have told us that is a work in progress.
Now, we do have a couple other related questions commonly asked by fans, and we've gotten a ton of email response, so I apologize if we don't get to you by name, because this is a common question, and a number of these are regarding the building and a lot of things. Obviously, first and foremost, Hara Arena has recently partnered with a new company, a management company, VenueWorks. Can you kind of tell us a little more about how that came together and the Gems perspective on that deal?
Well, VenueWorks is an arena management firm. They are very well known throughout the country. They actually are handling the management of the new arena in Evansville, the brand new facility there. They manage 28 facilities across the United States, and they have relationships with concert bookers and a number of other people in that industry. So Hara has partnered with VenueWorks in an effort to get more events here, in addition to Dayton Gems Pro Hockey, concerts, family shows, etc. And Hara is committed. They have said that any additional show that they can get, any additional traffic, they are committed to putting those dollars back into Hara Arena for improvements. And that, I think, is the most important thing for our fans to understand. That's what they've told us, and we look forward to seeing those improvements as we all try to grow and improve together.
Now, a number of fans had also emailed their questions and more of their concerns regarding the handicap parking spaces out in the parking lot. Can you tell us a little bit more about what they've done for that?
Well, in fact, today they were out, their maintenance crew was out repainting all of the handicap parking stalls, so they are very, they're signified very well in the parking lot. They should be easy to see, easy to find. I think there may have been some confusion in the past on what was a handicap spot and what wasn't. There shouldn't be a problem with that from this point on. But it was something that we brought up to the folks at Hara Arena and something that they have addressed.
A couple more things regarding the facility. This one, a hockey question for you, Coach. A youngster from Yellow Springs actually wrote in on this one regarding the glass and the plexiglass and its different materials now. It's not actual tempered glass here at Hara, but his question was, how often does it break?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. I think we saw a couple incidents last season in which the glass did break, and we had to have a little break in the action, if you will, to get that replaced. But, I mean, to be honest with you, it is an infrequent occurrence. But at the end of the day, these guys are propelling the puck at, speeds over 100 miles an hour. The puck's frozen, so when it's coming, I mean, it's coming at you like a bullet. And take it from me, I was a goaltender. Sometimes you just want to get out of the way. But at the same time, a lot of times it's the angle at which it hits the glass, and temperature has a lot to do with it. Humidity in the building, surprisingly enough. But there's a lot that goes into it. I think we had 3 or 4 different occasions in which it broke last year. So I know Hara Arena has done a lot to make sure that we have pre-cut glass to quickly replace it this season. In the event that it's in a game, and also in practice too. So it was a good question. Wish I could give you a more definitive answer. If you hit it 50 times, it's going to break. But it happens sometimes, and we just roll with it.
I guess you'll have to come to a game and find out for yourself. Let's shift gears again to Joe. I got another viewer question. This one a little more interesting for myself personally in my department, but we'll ask this for you. Steven asks, if my work organization is having an event, how do I get Blade or players to do an appearance?
Well, you would contact our director of community relations, which is JT, right here. So I'll let him tell you more about it.
We get anywhere between 2 and really 10 requests a day, and it's been picking up as the season goes along, from every different nonprofit group, charity organizations, churches, you name it. And they're asking for donation requests and, in-kind gifts. And it's really been one of my priorities to respond to as many of them as possible. So far, I've had a 100% success rate in making sure that we get the Dayton Gems to a lot of the nonprofit groups, a lot of the area organizations that do so much for the community, as part of our community relations efforts. And something as simple as giving away 4 tickets for a church to raffle off as part of one of their big fundraisers that means so much to them. To be able to do that and be kind of a steward of our community in that regard is something that I think we have a responsibility to, and it's something that I take very seriously. So what I would say to Stephen is send me an email or give me a call in the office anytime. My email is readily available at DaytonGems.com. It's jt@daytongems.net. Now that confuses some people with our .net, but feel free to give a call, 275-7777. Ask for me, and we'll take care of what you need and make sure we do that, because that is important to, our striving to be the best minor professional sports organization in the country, like you said.
It is, and it's at the top of our list each and every day. We have been out in the community more than anyone could possibly imagine, especially over the last 6 months, trying to get people fired up for opening night. So please contact us if we can help.
Absolutely. Great question, Stephen, and we'll shift gears still to Joe, but this one from Christy in Beaver Creek, and she asked, do the Gems offer any school ticket or rewards program for some of the area districts?
Yeah, last year we introduced a program called Grades for Blades, and went fairly well. It's a program we hope to grow, but we're also working on a new program, one which JT is spearheading. So I'll let him talk more about that.
And this one's called the ICE program. The Dayton Gems ICE program stands for In Classroom Excellence, and basically what it is we will be contacting area principals in all of the surrounding districts in the coming weeks and months. And the program's simple. It's to reward students for either academic, behavioral, attendance, or any other excellence in the classroom by providing 5 free children's or student ticket vouchers for 5 specific ICE games throughout the season, to reward them for being great in the community, great in their schools, and great students. And that's kind of part of how it all ties into our community relations. So we're very excited about this program. In addition to that, Blades for Grades will be returning this season, but under a little different format.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we're constantly trying to again implement ourselves into the community, and schools are a big part of that. And so if you've got a school as a fan, if your child's in school, if you are a teacher or an administrator at a school who would like to be involved, please contact us.
Absolutely, and we're pretty easy to get a hold of, and like I said, we try to respond to as many as we can. So shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll certainly help you out. Let's talk a little bit about the Gems this season. We've got a big year, 3rd year of Dayton Gems in Dayton, once again as part of the new organization. Joe will lead off with this question submitted via the internet. What are the start times this season? And before we finish that, there are some changes, so get out your scratch pad, your pen, your paper. Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. We have changed our start times from last season, based on the feedback that we received from our fans last year. And again, your feedback is so important to us, and it does make a difference in our decision making on a daily basis. Our Tuesday games this year, which we have a number of Tuesday games this year. We did not have a lot of Tuesdays last year, but our Tuesday games we've moved up to a 6:30 start time, which we understand is very early compared to a lot of teams. But after doing some research, talking to fans, we have a number of fans that feel they're unable to bring their children on a school night to a game at 7 o'clock that's not going to get over until 9:30, and they can't get them home until 10 o'clock or after. And so they just frankly don't come, the parents nor their children. So in an effort to try to increase and make it easier for those parents to bring their families to our games on Tuesdays, we've moved the start times up to 6:30. Doors will open at 5:30. And again, that's the reason for the change in start times on Tuesday night. It's something that we'll look at and we'll evaluate as the season goes on. We may change it for next season. We may not. But we'll definitely, your feedback is important to us on those times. The Sunday games are actually going to be moved up to 4 o'clock. Last year they were 5 o'clock. This year we've got 4 p.m. start times on Sunday afternoons. We've got our post-game skate and autograph sessions every Sunday again this season. So you can still bring the kids out on a school night, on a Sunday night when they've got school the next day. They can stick around long after the game to get all the players' autographs and pictures with all of the players. Still be home in plenty of time to get to bed and get a good night's sleep before school the next day. And then the rest of our games are at 7 o'clock this season. Last year we had times that varied from 7 to 7:30 based on the day of the week. We've gone with 7 o'clock to keep it uniform this season. And again, this is something that we'll evaluate as the season goes on and keep in mind for next season. So your feedback is very important to us.
Now, of course, moving on, a number of fans have also mentioned why the Gems changed their seating plan. And if you notice, the seating plan is a little bit different in your season ticket and your group plans. Can you explain the change and some of the benefits that come with that?
Well, absolutely. We wanted to implement a lower child's ticket price. Again, and focusing on providing affordable family entertainment, it was important to us that parents with families with 3, 4, 5 kids, that those tickets can really add up. And so we were able to adjust our ticket prices to where we can have an $8 kids ticket. Any section, every game, all season long. It's a huge new benefit for families this season to bring their kids out to Gems games, and we had to adjust the rest of our pricing accordingly in order to make that happen. We still have the most affordable ticket prices in the CHL, and so that's something we're proud of. Again, affordable family entertainment is something we're proud to offer. So. It has changed some, and we've had some great feedback from the fans on that.
Season ticket holders are a big chunk of that bulk, and season tickets, they did pretty well this year, and fans have been asking when they can pick up their actual booklets.
Yeah, Sean Wantering, our VP of Ticket Sales, and Patrick, in our ticketing department, they've done a tremendous job this past off season and increasing our season ticket base, which was a focus of ours this off season. We've also got a party scheduled October 20th at the filling station. Just off 35 in Linden, and I guess kind of southeast Dayton. On October 20th, I believe it's from 5 to 8, where season ticket holders can come by, pick up their new season ticket books. They look really sharp. Ashley Lentz in our office did an unbelievable job of designing these things, and we think our fans are going to love them. You're also going to be able to pick up your season ticket gifts, which I'm not going to let that cat out of the bag at this point. It's a surprise when you get there. If you cannot make it, though, we will have all of the players there that night as well. So come by and meet the team at the filling station October 20th, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Food and drink specials all night long. If you're unable to make it to the filling station, you can come to the Hare Arena box office during normal box office hours, and we'll make sure we get you your season tickets.
Now, with the change to the ticket prices and the season ticket seating locations, a few other changes that maybe didn't go over as good initially with the fans. Let's talk about the exhibition preseason game. There's been some response to that. We've got some emails from fans that were just wondering why they had to pay for the preseason game.
Well, for me personally, I've worked in the Central Hockey League since 2004 with multiple teams, and when I got here last year, I was actually surprised that season ticket holders got free tickets to the exhibition game. It's just not something that I'm used to or that I've seen across our industry and across our league. And so we still feel like the $5 ticket price is an extremely affordable price to come watch a hockey game. You get to see new players for the first time out on the ice. So we realize that we got some feedback, but I hope our fans also understand that we still have our same rent costs and hard costs that go into hosting a game, and we're just trying to help offset those costs a little bit with the ticket pricing. And again, we feel like $5 is a very fair price.
Now, of course, some of the nice perks of the season ticket package are the redemption nights, and I know we have a number of those scheduled for this season. You want to go ahead and elaborate on that further?
Yeah, last season, this was something we implemented when Sean and I both got here last September. there was nothing like this in place before that. All right, and so we made an effort to make sure that our season tickets had value. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're as a season ticket holder, you go on vacation for 2 weeks and you miss 3 Gems home games, and you're sitting here saying, well, why would I buy season tickets? I'm going to be on vacation for 3 weeks in March. I'm going to miss 3 games. Those are wasted tickets. So we have an unused ticket policy, a ticket redemption policy for season ticket holders. Last year we had 2 games all season long where you could redeem your unused season tickets from previous games for tickets to those specified nights. You could bring your family and friends, and everybody could have a great time. This year we've increased that number to 6 redemption nights. You can find those redemption nights on our website at DaytonGems.com. But we feel like this is very important. And I think this is also shown in our increase in season ticket sales this offseason, because it's tough to make 33 games over the course of the season. And we understand that. So we're trying to do everything in our power to make it easier for people to commit to the full season.
And a big key to that are the mini plans that were introduced this season. You've got the 17 game, the 8 game, and the Patrick Hat Trick special that you talk about accessibility to the club. Maybe people can't make the 33 games. Take us through the 17, the 8, and the 3 game packs and what they've done and what you've seen them do this summer.
Well, it gives people more options. And 17 games is a lot of games to come to, let alone 33. We understand that. And so we've tried to give people as many options as possible while still keeping it affordable, still keeping some benefits included in those packages, and we've had success with those. Again, you can find all of those mini package information online at DaytonGems.com. But those have been very popular, and it's something that we're trying to continue to get the word out to people on. We feel like even with the Hat Trick pack where you get 3 games, we still feel like come to 1 game and you'll be hooked, and that's our feeling. And so the most important thing we can do is get new fans out for the first time, and we feel confident that we can bring them back.
And a good way to do that is group tickets, and I know you've started a big, momentous push for the group tickets. We have a number of our representatives and really all of our staff members on board trying to reach out to area groups in much the same way that we do with our community appearances. Take us through the group ticket process for this year and what they get in return.
Well, groups can be purchased for as little as 10 tickets to a game. You receive a discount on your tickets with some added benefits. And our group ticket sales increased last year 250% from the previous season. We think we can do more than that this year. I think our goal is to increase it by another 250 to 300% on group ticket sales. It really introduces a lot of people to the Gems for the very first time. If their corporation is coming to a game and they say, I've never been, but I'll go because my office is going, or I'll go because my church group is going. Again, we feel confident that we'll put on a good enough show that they'll want to come back.
And that's certainly a big part of it. Let's talk a little bit about the new things fans should look for when they come to a Dayton Gems game. And we'll get to what they can expect on the ice in a minute. But let's talk some of the promotional aspects. You've got Angry Birds Night. You've got the Rut Hockey Night. And I want to get the coach's take on the camo jerseys here in a second. But, a fan coming in for the first time, what can they expect when they come to a Gems game this year?
Well, again, we want our fans to get as much added value for their ticket as possible. We want our fans for their $12 ticket to walk in, to get a bobblehead, to catch a T-shirt from the T-shirt gun, to win a free 2-liter of Coke, to get a coupon on the way out and say, wow, I got all this added value for my $12 ticket, plus I got to watch a great hockey game. So that's key for us this season. We've introduced the giveaway every game. Opening night, we've got Thunder Sticks. Some people like those. Some people hate them, depending on how many kids you have sitting around you during the game. But it's going to be loud and rocking on opening night. And we've got bobbleheads, rally towels, stadium cups, pint glass. We've got some really, really great giveaways this season. Ashley Lentz is our Director of Game Operations, and put together a great promotional schedule this season for our fans. We can't wait for fans to start coming in and enjoying some of those, along with some of our promotions that we have planned. Tuesday nights, we've got trading card giveaways on Tuesdays. We've got poster giveaways throughout the season, and we've got new contests on the ice. We're trying to keep it fresh. If you have ideas for contests, shoot them over to us, and we'd be glad to consider those for intermission contests. We'll have a lot of youth hockey at intermissions this season as well, working with the youth hockey teams. And we're also looking to implement a new video screen in our arena this year that hopefully we can introduce an intro video for our team when they come out on the ice. Put some neat graphics out for people to see, and do some things like the kiss cam and some of those things that you see at other sporting events. That's something that the Gems have invested in, and we hope that to kick off that opening night.
And of course, a lot of the hockey fans enjoy seeing the different jerseys the club wears, and there will be a Technicolor dream coat, so to speak, of different uniforms worn by your club. And the first one really that hit the press big over the summer and was really one of the first big things to happen while I was a part of the organization was the Beer League Hockey Night with Rut Hockey out of San Antonio, Texas, winning the fan vote. And folks, believe me, it wasn't even close. The team will wear camouflaged jerseys, and this got some great press on the national media. It got some great exposure locally, and I know a ton of fans are looking forward to seeing it. Take from the bench, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, as part of this organization, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we get out there and kind of have our ode to the beer league across the country. I mean, I'll tell you, there's a lot of middle-aged and coulda, woulda, shouldas that go out there at whether it's midnight and play till the wee hours in the morning. And we thought it'd be a great idea to kind of get our brand out there, but also show our support for those diehards out there throughout the country. So we're excited to have members of Rut Hockey actually come to the game. Being that they're camouflage jerseys, maybe we'll get an advantage with that one. Maybe sneak a guy down to the back door for a tap in. But no, I think it's going to be neat. It's unique, and that's what we're all about. And I think our front office did a fantastic job in coming up with that one. And the beer league jersey is going to be pretty cool.
Now, that's not the only one your club is going to be wearing, though. Let's talk about some of the other jerseys and specialty jerseys that your team will be sporting and then raffling off to lucky fans.
Yeah, opening night, we're going to be doing the retro jerseys, which is going to be, it's something that I'm really excited about. Jerseys back from the 70s, coming back to Hara Arena. So I know the players will be pretty pumped about that one. We get a lot of people in the barn. That's going to be opening night, Saturday, November 5th. We'll be doing that, and then obviously our next jersey is going to be the beer league jersey with Rut Hockey, and that's going to be Saturday, January 7th. And then following that one up, actually the CHL is having a 20th anniversary jersey that every team in the league is going to be doing a specialty CHL jersey night that's actually going to go to the Players Hardship Fund through the PHPA, which is something. It's a very good cause, and so we're going to be doing that on January 27th, which is a Friday. So come and check those ones out. And then one that's always big and something that I think hits home with a lot of people within I know with a few of our players, I know with myself as well, is the Pink in the Rink, Saturday, February 11th. It's a great night. We raise awareness and funds for breast cancer, and I think it was a hit last year. The jerseys were fantastic, and I know I picked one up for my mom, and probably be doing the same thing again for a few other the people in my family. So we're excited about those specialty jerseys, and come and check us out.
Excellent. It's going to be exciting to see all the different jerseys worn by the players, and of course all of those specialty jerseys will be auctioned off, and it's a great cause. Certainly one of the best parts of minor league hockey for the fans, and especially for the diehard fans that we do have that are watching tonight that have jerseys from their favorite players from 7 or 8 different teams and follow them along. It just gives them another option and another way to show their support.
No, absolutely, and that's what's unique about minor league hockey. I mean, there's the specialty jerseys, but it's that accessibility to players, and fans can really relate to these guys on a one-on-one basis. And what better way to show your support for whether it's Kyle Bocek to Brandon Naurato to whomever on the Dayton Gems than pick up one of these cool specialty jerseys throughout the season.
Well, I've got just a couple more questions here submitted via email, and this one will go to Joe. And this goes against with our schedule a little bit, a little home, a little way. Let's start with the home. How does the home schedule, as opposed to nights, dates, front heavy, back heavy? I know you had a lot of games at the start of the year last year. How does it compare this year, and are you satisfied with the schedule?
We are pleased. Hera Arena actually has more events this season, so we actually had fewer dates to work with when we initially started this process that were available for us in the arena. With that being said, we spent a lot of time looking at potential home dates and putting this schedule together. We're pleased with it. We have 12 Saturday home games this year compared to 10 last year, so we're +2 on Saturdays. And to be honest, one of those Saturdays last year was New Year's Day, which was a tough day for sales for us on New Year's Day last year. So we really feel like we're +3 on Saturdays this season, and of course we've got our Thirsty Thursdays back again this year. As far as months lining up, last year we were extremely heavy early in the season with home games at Hera Arena. Really butted heads with high school football and high school sports. And we were very light at the end of the season at home as we were trying to make a push for our playoff seeding. This year we flipped that around. We're starting almost 3 weeks later than we did last year at home by starting on November 5th this season. Last year we started on October the 15th. And then we're heavy late. February and March we have a number of home games in those 2 months, which I hopefully will make it easier for our guys as they position themselves for the top seed in our conference late in the season. So we're very pleased with our schedule.
Now let's talk road games. And a lot of fans enjoy following the team, but what if they can't make the bus trip? What options do they have? Do we have watch parties this year?
Well, we will be putting out an official press release next week. We have partnered with Buffalo Wild Wings this season. Their location in Inglewood will be the official watch party host of the Gems. We have chosen 10 dates on our schedule, starting out with Saturday, October 22nd at Bloomington. They have purchased all the necessary equipment in-house there to make sure that our game can be on numerous televisions, and we will have the audio as well broadcast throughout that Inglewood location. So we invite fans to come out. We'll be doing drawings and prizes on our official watch party dates. The Bud girls, the Bud Light girls will be out there on certain dates with free. I want to say free samples, but free gadgets for everybody, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And then we were also notified today by Buffalo Wild Wings in Inglewood. They actually are planning on showing every Gems game, every Gems road game. Now those we will have 10 official watch parties, but it sounds like they're going to have every other road game broadcast at least on one or two of their smaller televisions at their location in Inglewood. So we ask fans to support all of our partners, but Buffalo Wild Wings has stepped up this season to make this happen, and it's going to be a blast. I hope to see everybody at Saturday, October 22nd at Wild Wings in Inglewood. Let's pack the place, and we hosted our playoff game watch party there last year, and it was rocking. You couldn't find a seat, and I have a feeling it's going to be that way on the 22nd, so get there early.
Very excited towards that, and knowing for you that you have the core support that is watching from back home, what does that give you and the team, more importantly? Is that in the back of your mind when you play these games?
Well, absolutely. I mean, to know that we have the support that I think is necessary for us to be successful is something that is very important. And, I knew the watch parties actually picked up a lot of steam as the year went on and really culminated in those playoffs. And, it's something that, the support at home is great, and we made Hera a distinct home ice advantage last year, and we had one of the best home records in the league. And to know that we have people still supporting, watching us, rooting us on, even from home and at Buffalo Wild Wings this season, is going to give us something to really push for and play with that kind of pride. And, we're representing the city of Dayton and its community and our fans and everybody here. So we take a lot of pride in what we do on the ice and off the ice, and we want to walk into, be it Fort Wayne, Bloomington, Quad City, Missouri, Rapid City, and basically show them what Dayton's all about and win some hockey games.
Well, you did forget Arizona. We're all looking forward to that trip, believe me.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, that takes care of all the questions that we do have submitted. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who participated by submitting questions to questions@DaytonGems.net. Of course, we'll have that email address open as the season begins on the road games. We'll be having more fan interaction, so be on the lookout for that. But a big thank you to everyone who submitted questions, and even those who we didn't get time to mention specifically by name on air. We appreciate everything submitted. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Final thoughts first, Joe?
Well, I would just first of all want to thank our fans. The people that are watching this video are our most loyal supporters, and this is an hour and 15-minute video at this point. If you're still watching, then kudos to you, and we appreciate your support more than you know. Continue to help us spread the word of what Dayton Gems Pro Hockey is all about, what the experience is like at games, how friendly our players are, how accessible they are. And I know that our head coach, Brian Gratz, has worked his tail off this offseason to put together a great team, one that he feels confident in. And our goal as an organization is to bring a championship to Dayton this season. So help us spread the word. And again, thank you for your support,
Coach.
And to kind of echo Joe's sentiments, we do this for our community here. And, we're committed to being a part of it and to help make Dayton a better place to live and have family affordable entertainment. And that's what we're providing. And moving forward on the hockey side of things, last year was a tremendous experience. I think to show the fans of Dayton and our supporters that we are here to stay from front office perspective and from on the ice, and that we are going to be competitive. But I can tell you right now, just making the playoffs isn't good enough for us as an organization, for our owners, for our players, and for our fans. This year we're committed to driving toward a championship. I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. I can tell you right now that I've never seen a group of guys who are more excited to get things going. Players calling me up every day in the month of September, when can I get down there? I'm ready to work. I want to get going. It just shows you the kind of effect that you, the fans of Dayton and this city, have had on these young men to want to come back here and be here as much as possible. So I'm proud of that, and I hope that we can continue to make you proud fans and supporters of the Dayton Gems this season, where we're driving for a championship. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to this year's Open Gem session. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, feel free to like us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube, and send it to those who may not have been able to watch it live. For Joe Greene and head coach Brian Gratz, my name is JT Szabo. We'll see you at the rink.